how we are going to modify the soil, how we are going to modify the ground. That is known as ground improvement techniques. In that first chapter coming to introduction, it is related to how we are going to modify the soil. Ground modification is to reduce settlement of soils. For example, we know that clay soil and black cotton soil will be having more sediment due to more cracks developed in the clay soil and black cotton soil. White ratio will be more. Based upon that, sediment will be more. To reduce the sediment, how we are going to modify the soil? First modification is what are the mechanical modification? With the help of compaction techniques, we are going to reduce the sediment of soil. By compacting the soil, we are going to remove void ratios. The second one, to increase shear strength. How we are going to increase the shear strength of soil? For red soil, shear strength of soil will be good. Whereas for the black cotton soil and clay soil, wherever the soil is weak, it is the properties of that particular soil. To increase shear strength, we are going to do that is direct shear test. To increase the shear strength, suppose if the soil is soft, at that time we are going to increase the angle of internal friction. That is, we are going to increase the phi value by mixing red soil with the clay soil. Similarly, how to increase factor of safety? Whenever the soil is strong, whenever the soil is good, at that time factor of safety will be increasing. Whenever the factor of safety is good, at that time only soil will be in a stable condition without allowing failures. Next one, that is reduce swelling and shrinkage. How we are going to reduce the settlement of soils by doing compaction. Similarly, we can reduce the swelling and shrinkage by doing the compaction. We are going to do the compaction to remove air voids from the soil. Next, fifth one, that is to reduce compressibility and permeability. Same procedure. By doing the compaction techniques, whether it is standard or modified, depending upon type of soil, whether it is cohesive or non-cohesive, based upon the type of soil, we are going to do the compaction technique. We are going to apply compaction technique to reduce compressibility. Compressibility will be reduced by removing air from voids. Similarly, permeability we know based upon type of soil, whether it is cohesive or non-cohesive, based upon that we are going to decide whether we should go for concentrate or variable test. Permeability means passage of fluid through it. This passage of water through the soils. Whenever the compaction is done properly, whenever we are removing the void ratios, automatically permeability will be reduced. By doing all these factors, by reducing the settlement, increasing shear strength, increasing factor of safety, reducing swelling and shrinkage nature, and by reducing compressibility and permeability, at that time soil will be in good condition. At that time, whatever the foundation we construct on the soil, which has modified in these 5 factors, can be used for the construction of foundation. At that time, soil will be in a stable condition without undergoing any failures. Next, factors affecting choice of implement. For factors affecting choice of implement is compared to that first one, we need to identify the soil. What is the type of soil? Whether it is coarse grained or fine grained, whether it is cohesive or non-cohesive. Based upon that, we need to do the improvement. Whenever the soil is strong, there will not be any improvement. But whenever the soil is weak, whenever the soil is not able to bear the loads, like clay soil and black cotton soil is unable to bear the loads. To maintain a stable condition, we need to modify it. Area, depth and location of treatment required. As regarding foundation engineering subject, based upon the type of soil, whether it is red soil or clay soil. Suppose if it is red soil, we need to go for shallow foundation. Whenever it is cohesive soil, like clay soil or black cotton soil, we need to go for deep foundation. Deep foundation or wide foundation. Depending upon the type of strata developed, depending upon the type of strata, we need to go for depth. Whenever the soil is weak, we need to go for more depth. Whenever the soil is strong, we will go for less depth. Next, desired required soil properties. Desired soil properties. What are the soil properties that we need to identify by doing the laboratory test? Whether it is intense properties or desired properties. That is index properties means by doing C1 analysis and consistency limits, we are going to find determine index properties. Index properties means permeability, compressibility, and shear strength. Whenever the soil is strong, it will be okay. But whenever the soil is weak, if it is unable to bear the loads, it is having a lot of elements in their nature. At that time, we are going to modify the soil. Modification can be done in a different ways, either by physical or by chemical. Easily, we can do the modification in the laboratory by mixing chemicals in the soil. Next, availability of materials. Suppose whenever we have undertaken a project, the materials are available at the nearby site. At that time, work will be in progress as well as cost of construction will be reduced. Transportation cost will be reduced. Whenever the materials are available at the nearby site. Next one, availability of skills, local experience and preference. Availability of skills means suppose if the skilled labor is available in the nearby site, at that time skilled labor is experienced person. The experienced person is there at a particular work. We can do the work in a limited time as well as we can do the work in a perfect manner. In that way, it will be helpful for the completion of project in a successful manner. Next one, environmental concerns. Whatever the project we have undertaken, whether it is construction of building or construction of any laboratories or construction of any commercial residential buildings, depending upon that, we should not harm the environment. We should not use more chemicals. Whenever the soil is weak, we should not use more chemicals for destroying the environment. In that way, we have to take the concern. Next one, economy. Finally, economy will be into all the projects. Whatever the project we have undertaken, if we complete that in economical way, means whatever the budget that is allotted to the particular project, if we complete that project in that whatever the amount they have given, at that time, we will get some profit. Means whatever project we have undertaken, it should be completed in the economical way. Next, availability of identifying the soil type. Before going for the laboratory test, as already we have learned in soil mechanics, that is geotechnical engineering lab. Which test? For all the tests, we are not going to do all the tests. All the parcels will not be in a similar manner. Similarly, all the soils will not behave in a similar manner. Different soils will be having different properties. For corrosive soil, corrosive soil is known as fine-grained soil, like clay soil and lacquer soil. For that soil, we need to improve the strength of the soil to reduce the swelling and shrinkage, to reduce permeability. All these maximum properties we need to improve for the fine-grained soil. Why? Because the soil is weak. Next, non-corrosive soil means like red soil, forum. These are coming under grained soils, which are known as non-corrosive soils. On this, we can go for foundation directly, like this. Before going for any construction, we need to identify what is the type of soil, whether the particular soil is having strength or not. Like this, we need to identify all the type of soil, and if the soil is weak, we need to improve the properties of soil. As already we have discussed, for every soil, whenever we undergo for any project, we need to improve. We need to have good engineering properties. Like in the engineering properties are nothing but permeability, compressibility, and shear strength. The three properties should be in a good manner. Yes. What are the three properties? If the three properties are good, at that time only soil will be in a good condition. The three properties are not good. In the future, due to disasters, due to natural disasters, soil will lead to failure. Whenever the heavy vehicles pass on the weak soil, at that time soil will become failure. To avoid the failures in the future, we have to take the proper steps. Next, after this, we have different types of modifications. after that. Classification of ground improvement techniques. Classification of ground improvement techniques. Depending upon type of improvement required, we are going to improve the strength of soil by doing different modification technique. By applying different modification technique. First one, that is mechanical modification. Mechanical modification is with the help of machines. Whenever we are modifying the soil with the help of machines, that is known as mechanical modification. That is with the help of vibrating rollers, with the help of smooth wheel rollers, pneumatic rollers. This depending upon type of soil. Seafood rollers will be used in the agricultural fields. Vibrating rollers will be used whenever there are aggregates. Similarly, pneumatic type of rollers like this, depending upon the improvement required, either for the construction of roads or either for the construction of buildings. Depending upon that, we will go for type of mechanical modification. Next one, hydraulic modification. To remove water from soil. Whenever we want to remove water from soil, if it is in a small quantity, we are going to do consolidation test. But whenever we need to remove the water in the large area, at that time it cannot be done by using consolidation. At that time we should go for hydraulic modification. For coastal soils, we are going to remove the groundwater by doing pumping. For coastal soils, for red soil, whenever we need to remove water from the red soils, due to heavy rains in the construction site, more water is accumulated in the area site. It cannot go for construction. At that time, what we have to do? We need to remove the water from soil. That is, by doing hydraulic modification for red soils, we can do the modification by pumping. Second one, that is for 5 soils, we need to modify the soil by applying extra load in the consolidation test. How we are going to remove the water from soil? We are going to apply the loads. For continuously, we need to apply the loads to remove water from soil. Whenever the load is applied, automatically water is present in the cracks that will be coming out. Similarly, pre-loading. Whenever we are giving extra load, pre is nothing but extra load on the soil. Whenever the water is present in the position soils, like clay soils, at that time we are going to apply the pre-loading technique to remove the water from the concrete soils. Next one, physical and chemical modification. Physical and chemical modification is whatever we are going to do in the laboratory, that is known as physical modification. Physical modification is, suppose in the particular area the red soil availability is less, if the coconut soil availability is less, at that time what we need to do is we need to add 70% of red soil plus 30% of that is waste materials, pond ash, fly ash, that are the waste materials which will be coming from the thermal power plants. Instead of storing the waste materials, even for storing the waste materials we require a lot of space. Well, what we can do is we can add whatever the fly ash, pond ash, we can mix it with red soil. 70% of red soil can be mixed with 30% of pond ash or fly ash. Even whenever we go for geotechnical engineering projects in the future, in the Arab countries, wherever the good soil is not available in large quantity, at that time they are going to apply this method. That is physical modification. Suppose the strength may be less compared to red soil, compared to foundation on red soil. Foundation on red soil plus pond ash, strength may be less, but 10% we can increase the strength. We can increase the strength by adding the pond ash, but it will not add 100% strength, as the pond ash is a weak material. Next one is chemical modification. Chemical modification is any further cold vibrant soil. Whenever the soil is having cracks, at that time we can fill that cracks with the help of chemicals. That is known as chemical modification. In the market there will be a lot of chemicals available, like sodium thiosulfate, sodium hydroxide. Depending upon the weakness, we need to add the chemicals. Here Even after the construction, if the tracks are developed, to fill the tracks, we can add chemicals. That chemicals can be injected through grounding. Injection of chemical into the soil can be done by using one method that is known as grounding technique. Next, fourth one, modification by inclusion and confinement. Modification and by inclusion and confinement is on the hilly areas. You can see that soil will be in slopes. Soil will be in a sloping condition. Whenever the heavy rain falls on the hilly areas, there will be possibility of soil will be flowing downwards due to heavy rains, and there is no falling. Whenever the bearing capacity is less, whenever the bonding is less, there will be possibility of soil flow will be taking place. To avoid that, even between the railway tracks, near the railway tracks, whenever the train is passing on the rails, you can see that lot of vibration takes place. To avoid that, what we are going to do is, to the nearby soil, they are going to apply the reinforcement technique. Reinforcement is nothing but inserting either fibers, strips, nails. Whenever we go on hilly areas, if you observe, on every hilly area they will be inserting this. They are going to insert the reinforcement material, or they are going to insert soil nailing. Soil nailing is one technique. How we are going to insert the nails. Whenever the heavy vehicle falls on that particular soil, load of the vehicle will be made by the particular nails. Means without allowing the soil to move downwards, without allowing the soil to fail, we are going to insert the nails and we are going to provide the reinforcement. Due to sometimes due to heavy rains or due to heavy wind, soil will be flowing downwards. To avoid that, they are going to provide reinforcement. Even we can observe reinforcement material. Reinforcement will be provided even for the rocks. Even for the aggregates also they are going to provide the reinforcement for not allowing it to fall downwards. This classification of ground improvement technique will be definitely they are going to use the extra exam. 99% will get this question. Classification of ground improvement technique. RTR learns separate with that 1, 2, 3, 4 different modifications. This we are going to learn in the rest of all the chapters. Every chapter will be related to